I'm Gundam style.
Right on. Okay, well, thanks everybody. We're back after our wonderful musical break that I'm sure everybody appreciated.
Whoop,
Um,
I'm Gundam style.
Awesome. And due to the magic of editing, we are now 24 hours later. Well, like maybe like 21, but still. We are now
23.
So 23? Sure. And we are now, on the other side of the Nintendo Direct and the appearance of the final Club Nintendo rewards. Let's talk about the Club Nintendo rewards quickly first. So I don't think it's necessary to go through them all, but just like they had kind of said before, it's definitely digital only, right? Digital only rewards. And Justin, you seem like you're pretty down on this.
Yeah.
But just to say, for clarification, you are gold, right? You're not platinum?
I am gold. I was merely 50 coins away from platinum.
Oh, man. And you look at like the list of the platinum versus the list of the gold, and it's quite a difference.
Yeah, there is. So, I mean, it's one of those things that I was kind of hedging my bets. I was like, what are they going to have, and is it worth it? And like, I bought a lot of games recently. The challenging point I have is that with a bunch of the games that I have purchased in the last 3 months, when they stopped continuing the point system, had I been able to register my 3DS and the games I recently purchased, I would have been well beyond this like platinum positioning. That's a bit frustrating, but that's the way it works. Yeah, I am a little bit down on this. I'm going to tell you why very, very briefly. This is the last hurrah of Club Nintendo. And I just kind of... Yeah, it really did. It felt like it went out with a whimper. And I mean, is there some good games in here? Yeah, there absolutely are. And if I'm looking at the platinum, just a couple ones that I would kind of list off that I think are really good ones to possibly grab. You've got Animal Crossing for the new 3DS, Super Mario Brothers 2 for the new 3DS, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, one of my favorites right there, for the Wii U, Ultimate Remix NES, and then the NES Remix 2. So there's some good games in Platinum. You go down to Gold or Platinum, so you can choose from either. You've got Crash Mo, you've got Pushmo, Ocarina of Ages, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Game Boy Colors.
Those are both really good, by the way. I've played through Oracle of Seasons twice.
See, those are the only two Zelda games I haven't finished yet.
Yeah, and then
Oracle of Seasons in particular, I really enjoyed. It's just got a really cool season mechanic where you can change the season of any area in the overworld.
Yeah.
Using this Rod of Seasons, it's really neat.
And then you've got Super Mario Brothers 2, The Lost Worlds, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid Fusion, which I thought was interesting. That's one that's actually kind of piqued my interest a bit. Super Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. It feels weak, and some of these games, as I recall, I think are pretty close to repeats from last year as well. Actually, some of them. I just think here's the thing. This is a program that you're finishing off. All these games that are being offered, these aren't third-party games. These are all IPs and games that Nintendo owns. Just open up your catalog a lot wider, right? Like, why do we not see on here? And I'm not saying you put on Codename, anything that recently came out like A Link Between Worlds, but I mean something like Luigi's Mansion, right? Like, why is that not on here?
I would have gotten Luigi's Mansion if that was there.
Yeah, I was kind of hedging my bets that might actually be there.
I also would have gotten Zero Mission if that was there, but of course it's not even available to buy yet. So
yeah, like I said, this is your last go at it. Just open your catalog, really open it up. Again, there's no cost here, right? The overhead is really low for this. It's just you creating the digital assets to access, which is already are available. I just feel like they should have opened it up a lot wider for both Platinum and Gold. And I actually kind of think that, to be honest, Gold should get the same choices that everyone gets, and Platinum should actually be you get 2 games to choose from. That's the way I think it should have. That's the way I think it should have worked, as kind of like a going out of style. But I mean, that's not the way they work.
Even if the selection, even if the selection was the same, right?
Yeah.
If literally these were the same games, but Platinum got 2 and Gold got 1, I think that would have been better.
Yeah, it feels like a real kind of whimper, and it's funny. And I know, Jesse, you wrote an article about it as well on VG Tribune that people can check out, and obviously we've linked to it on our Twitter and Facebook.
I wasn't as nasty as I was last year.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
Last year I was nasty.
I find
but
I find it.
This year
Go
I
ahead.
had the expectation. Last year I was really disappointed. This year
They did
I
come.
was,
They did come out of this. Yeah, they came out of it ahead of it this year, so
Yeah.
it was clear
So-
that it was only going to
so
be digital.
I knew exactly what was going to happen, so I'm not disappointed. I'm not happy, but I'm not disappointed either. So I wasn't as bad and as nasty in this article.
Yeah, I mean, like at no point am I shocked by any of this. Like, this is exactly what I expected them to probably do. I just thought they could have done. They had an opportunity to do different. And I think the really interesting part, we're going to transition over to the Nintendo Direct in a couple moments. This started off our day, right? We all kind of got this information. The servers got hit. It took us a long time to log in. People are still unable to access their codes to actually download these games, which happens because everyone's hitting the server at one time. Totally get that. But this is starting off your day of like, man, these are pretty underwhelming things. And then 8 hours later, we hit a Nintendo Direct, which is just like, we've talked about in the pre-show. My head has been spinning for the last 3 hours of like, did that just happen? So we saw like some very, Jekyll and Hyde appearances by this company to their actual fan base in the last 12 hours. So really, really interesting thoughts. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm a gold member still, but I don't know.
I'm not quite as down on it as you are, but again, that's because I'm platinum and I am still looking at this list though, and the trouble with having any, with these digital rewards is that you're trying to reward your hardest of hardcore fans, and usually when they put out these lists of games, it's like, oh yeah, but these are all games I've either bought them or I was not interested enough.
Yeah, that was my argument.
So
last
none of the
year.
rewards end up being really exciting.
Yeah, that was my argument last year.
So,
I either already had them or I actively avoided them.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, there are a couple on the platinum list that I just haven't gotten around to yet. Right now, I'm kind of in between Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Mario Golf World Tour. I'm not entirely sure. I've heard both of those are awesome, although I feel like given my sort of play style and preference, I'm leaning towards Mario Golf. But I don't know. I'm going to kind of feel that one out and wait a little bit. We've got until the end of June to claim those, right?
No,
So
yeah.
You have until the end of April.
Oh yeah, it's right into April.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
I better.
You have until the end.
Still
At the end of June, then the Club Nintendo accounts are gone and any coins left are gone.
Oh,
But-
right. That's yeah.
Then the codes you get by the end of April, you have until the end of July to redeem. After that, then the codes are bad and you have nothing left.
Oh, okay. Got it. Cool. Yeah, I also have 150. I think I have enough to get like one of the 150 coin virtual console games on Club Nintendo still. So
I managed to fill in
yeah.
10 coin survey late last night after we recorded so I still I now have 125 coins, which still isn't enough to buy anything, but because I forgot that I bought the Pokemon card game, Game Boy Color game.
Nice.
So
Right on. Well, shall we? You know what they say about yeah.
I just thought
I don't know that.
out of the 12 platinum games, I own 8 of them, and if you count Ultimate NES Remix as being owned because I owned NES Remix 1 and 2 on the Wii U, then I own 9 out of the 12. So I don't have a lot of options left, and I'm probably going to pick Donkey Kong.
Yeah, do it.
Well, you know what they say about Club Nintendo rewards.
You never know what you are going to get.
That's your favorite soundbite.
That's going to be on your
That is gonna-
soundboard forever.
It totally is. The only problem with it is that he talks so slowly in that, and I think I've talked about this before on the show, and so I'm not going to get into it. But every time Satoru Iwata is talking in a Nintendo Direct, I'm just gleeful the entire time. It's so funny, just his rhythm and cadence and how he's struggling with the English language.
Hey, that guy must rehearse those things for hours before actually recording, because I've heard him at E3 talk English without rehearsal, and it is way broken. So I'm surprised he is doing as good as he is. I mean, I am impressed.
Yeah, totally.
He's putting forth the effort. I like that.
Absolutely. So let's head into the Nintendo Direct. So the first thing, they open up, and as expected, we get the Mewtwo DLC is announced, which is coming out For people who are part of the Club Nintendo promotion where you get it for free, you will be emailed that code on April 15th. And everybody else will have it available for purchase on, where is it?
28th, I think?
The 28th, I believe, at the end of the month.
And
so
it'll be 2 codes, one for each system.
Yeah. And so, I mean, great. That's awesome. On the 15th as well, we're also getting an update that will bring some balance updates as well as the Mii Fighter costumes. So the Mii Fighter costumes, we've got a Smash Brothers t-shirt, Link, Majora's Mask, Mega Man X, Proto Man, Dunban from Xenoblade Chronicles, a cat suit, and a monkey suit. So, and those are available. The Mii Fighter costumes are available for either 75 cents for one of the 2 platforms or $1.15 for both, or you can buy a bundle that's $6 for one platform or $9.20 for both. So,
and then I think
that's pretty awesome.
Patches in new Mii racer suits for the new Amiibo that aren't released yet.
That's for Mario Kart 8 though, right?
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
You're jumping like way ahead. Yeah.
Like it's
no
been
worries.
2 long days and I'm exhausted, so this is.
Yeah.
I'm in La La
It's
Land.
definitely been. I hope you listeners appreciate this because it's definitely a huge. I feel like this is absolutely going to be our largest game or our largest episode yet, but it's all worth it for you, lovely people. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? I guess we'll finish up the Smash Bros stuff first. So after that, we've got those the Mii Fighter costumes, and then they come out basically saying, oh, by the way, here's another character, and Lucas from Other 3, he was in Smash Brothers Brawl, is also coming in June, followed by the fact that they have opened up on their website, basically asking for input. Which characters do you want to see in Smash Brothers? Which I think is crazy cool that they're opening it up like that, and really willing to. I guess really they're trying to prioritize which characters are the most likely to sell, right? Like if they are going to put the effort into it, they want to be making characters that people will be willing to buy. So. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Smash Brothers? Anything cool there? What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I thought, we all knew Mewtwo was coming. We had to get that information. They started off immediately with that. I thought was great. Lucas coming out of nowhere, like who saw that one coming? Huge cheers for that. I thought that was great. I really actually like the fact they're opening up and saying, like, who do you want to see? And I thought that was a really great statement that, they want to listen to fans. And that's exactly what he actually even said. He said, hey, we've listened to fans. We heard that people wanted Lucas, so we added him. And when you even go to the site to vote, it's not a fact of, like, pick one of the 4 that you already like. It's a fill in the blank, right? So it's not pre-existing content that they've already kind of maybe got half built. And they're like, oh, we've got frames for all of them. Which one do you want? It's like, no, you tell us what happens. And so I thought that was a really cool approach to doing it.
And you have to say why you want them.
Yeah, you have to say why, right? It's so I think that's really neat. And he made the statement of, like, this is the first in a line of DLC that we're creating and updates and patches to it. Because beforehand they had said, like, we're going to do a patch later and we're going to give you Mewtwo, and that was kind of it. But then
people thought that was going to be it.
Yeah, people thought that was going to be it. But now for them to be like,
kind of seemingly getting sick of the series.
Yeah, so them to say, like, this is step 1 in a long-term strategy, which we all hoped for, I thought was great. This feels like it's getting the Mario Kart 8 treatment that we all suspected it would, but we didn't have official confirmation. So well done.
Yeah, totally. I honestly feel like they've given themselves as well. They've given themselves enough time. Honestly, knowing what I know about collecting survey data and statistics and stuff like that, they literally will be able to wake up tomorrow morning and will have enough data to be able to prioritize stuff, right? And so they have, they're going to have, and they'll continue collecting it, but after a while, it will begin to trend a certain way. And so after after the next week, they probably won't even need to collect anymore. They could close it and have all the information they need. And what's interesting is that now they have from the beginning of April to the beginning of June to prioritize a couple more fighters to be able to announce those at E3. So I guarantee you we'll see more fighters announced at E3.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
At least one, I think, by then. So suddenly,
I think
yeah,
they're
that's
accepting. They're accepting entry nominations until, if I read that right, that's October 3rd.
Yeah, I do think that they definitely will continue to do that. I'm just saying that after a certain point, it's kind of, from a statistics basis, it's just kind of you've got your basic trends by the time, a week or two from now they'll have enough data that the data that will continue to come in after that, it won't probably vary that much from that. And so
oddly enough, you're going to the Japanese Nintendo site, but going to the US version of the Japanese website. So
that's really interesting.
Nintendo.co.jp/US. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, anyways, next up, they showed, or they announced that the Mario, or the next wave of the Smash Brothers Amiibo will be releasing on May 29th. So this is the wave that was previously announced as spring 2015. Although they've added two more, was it just two more Amiibo? They added Greninja and Jigglypuff to the list. They also said, by the way, there are going to be more retailer exclusives, and we have confirmation already that Ness is a GameStop exclusive. So get your pre-orders in, because otherwise you won't get one. And they even they didn't say you won't get one, but they did say, follow retailers for the opportunity to pre-order.
And then even then, you're not guaranteed to get one.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they also announced that in July we have Dark Pit and Palutena being released, just those two, which I thought was, it's the summer, and so it's interesting. And then in the fall, in September, we will have another wave of Amiibo coming as well. And you can look on the website. I don't think it's really necessary. You kind of know which ones are left. I think in September we've got Olimar coming, and Dr. Mario, and Bowser Jr., and a couple others. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting, and we'll get more into Amiibo in a minute. One thing that we had heard about before as well was Amiibo Tap, which, as Owada says,
it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get.
So basically, Amiibo Tap is the thing that they had talked about a few months ago, where you put the Amiibo on the gamepad, and it lets you play little highlights from different games throughout Nintendo's history. So I don't know, what do you guys think about Amiibo Tap so far? It's pretty cool. I like the idea.
I like the concept, but what I don't like is that when you first tap an Amiibo, it'll give you a random game to play with a 3-minute time limit. My understanding is if you tap the same Amiibo, you're going to get the same demo. So if you want to unlock additional demos, you got to be putting a lot of different Amiibos on there.
Yeah, so even on the title screen, it kind of showed here's Metroid, here's Metroid, and then underneath it said Mario, right? And it's just it's kind of weird to me that I kind of like the whole box of chocolates thing, where it's you're gonna just get some random game. I think that's kind of fun. Although at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but if I want to play the Metroid game, then I just freaking want to put the Samus one on there because it makes sense, right? I don't know. What do you think, Justin? Are you looking forward to this?
I don't know if I'm saying I'm looking forward to it, because I think that the games that they're highlighting, NES games and SNES games, for the most part, at least ones they were showing in the box of chocolates analogy he was using, are games that we've grown up with, right? That I've played, and that I have a love for, that I've already downloaded. But I think what it really does is it brings those people, those young kids, those ages 10 to 15 who are playing or who are collecting the Amiibos, and actually putting them on the gamepad and be like, oh, I've never tried this old school game, but now I'll give it a shot. And I actually think that's the interesting thing. This is a bridge device for a younger generation to explore the older back catalog that you, me, and Jesse all have nostalgia for already, that we're just immediately drawn to. It's like, oh my god, Excitebike. Yeah, I'll buy that for $3. And so I think that's the interesting part. The other thing that I would say is I do find it kind of a bit weird of if I put the Mario Amiibo down, I won't get the Mario game necessarily. I could get Metroid. That's a little bit weird in some ways, right? But The other thing that I find interesting about it as well is that, as Jesse said, you have 3 minutes to try it. But what it is actually giving you is it's giving you 9 opportunities or 9 scenes from that game in 3-minute intervals. So you kind of get to go all over. So you kind of get this like highlight reel of the game, try it out. So again, you've got 27 minutes to try a game and discover like, yeah, you know what, I will go pay the extra $4 for it and give it a shot. This is very much kind of the idea that we see in, like, if I was to make connections of this in the iOS App Store. I'm going to download a game that's for free, or I can then pay the extra $3 and get the entire unpackaged version, right? And I think that's kind of what they're doing here. I think it's really neat. That's just an easy, like, we don't have to buy any special amiibo. It's just a back-end update they're doing. So very cool bridge idea, I think.
Yeah, and I think too that it's definitely it seems to me like the kind of thing where I'm going to do it once, per amiibo and play through a few of them and then never do it again.
Yeah, very much.
What I mean? Like never bring the same amiibo to multiple play sessions, unless it's something that I really enjoyed. But I kind of, having played most of this stuff already, yeah.
It's kind of meaningless for me since I only have one amiibo, and highly unlikely I'm going to get any others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. That's coming sometime this spring, which, yeah. So that should be coming probably. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a kind of thing that they're like at E3, like, oh, and it's available right now. We may see that. So next we have Mario Maker. So what are you guys thinking about Mario Maker? I'm kind of feeling now that what was the time that they put on this one? 2015 is all they've said, or
no? They actually gave a date. This is September.
September. Okay.
Yeah.
So September 2015, and I don't know, it looks kind of cool. I like the level that they showed off. The only thing new that we really learned about it was they did show a screen where you can upload them online, and it looked like you could actually arrange them in a sort of game thing where they had like a row that was like World 1 and it had a bunch of maps, and World 2 and it had a bunch of levels, and World 3, right? Like, so you actually are able to create like your own game with multiple levels that are meant to be played in a certain sequence, which I thought was really cool. I'm glad that they went that far and did that. Other than that, was there anything else that I'm missing from Mario Maker?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that they're mentioning here is it's 30th anniversary of Mario, so or Mario, however you want to say it. So I think that the right way. So I think that we're going to see a lot more Mario celebrations throughout the year, which I think is great. I think this is a really cool game. I do think it being positioned in that September time slot is probably. It will probably take the spot of Hyrule Warriors from the 2014 series or 2014 run. And I think it's really smart. The infrastructure that you're talking about is kind of like game sharing community, which we all talked about. This is where it lives or dies. It looks very similar to the infrastructure that Tipping Stars has implemented as well. So I think this was a really great opportunity for them to kind of test out how it worked in Tipping Stars, where the challenges were, and basically have 6 months later to fix any issues before they do a big launch like this.
Absolutely. Yeah,
for
sure.
I like the video they made.
The one that said like 30th anniversary or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting excited about this game, guys. Like, I just don't get it. I think that it's definitely like there's no way they're gonna make this a full $60 game, is there? Like, do you think that's what they're doing, or is it gonna be an eShop or?
I think it'll be eShop 30.
eShop 30. Okay.
At most, hopefully 20.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Alex mentioned earlier in this podcast or Alex or Jesse mentioned it, is that could you imagine you go to Walmart, you buy this game, you don't have internet connection at home, what did you just get, right?
I
think it was you, Jesse. This is so reliant on internet connectivity and community sharing that I don't think they want to put themselves in a position where it is a retail game. I think and I do actually agree. I think $30 for 30th anniversary Mario Maker is a really easy publicity kind of promotion.
I know when they announced probably Game Awards or so that they were had additional modes. I'm like, okay, so they did add more things since the last time we saw it at E3, and
I guess they. But
since then
they still have time to announce more, right?
Yeah, but I would have expected them to do that today as well. They didn't. They didn't announce anything new. Just that this is still here. This is still a thing. So that's why 30 is.
for sure.
I think it's pushing it. I think 20 is the sweet spot. If they're not adding any more content, if they're going to add more content, then $30 is better. But
yeah, maybe they'll. I guess maybe it'd be cool if they had like level packs or something. Even then, though, I don't know. We'll see. I'm still kind of iffy on it, but that's. I've never. Yeah, we'll see. Cool. Next is Yoshi's Woolly World, and we definitely need to call out Brett Babin on Twitter, who a few days ago was talking all about how he wanted some kind of cool Yarn Yoshi amiibo, and wish granted, my friend. Those Yoshi amiibos look pretty awesome, and
we should actually just take a pause there. That idea for actually woolly Yoshi was 100% because Brett said that we mentioned on our show. That's the only reason Nintendo listened, is because we mentioned on the Nintendo Dads podcast, because they always listen to what we say.
Oh, absolutely.
You're welcome, Brett.
Right? You're welcome, Brett. You're welcome, Nintendo. Yeah, the Nintendo Dads changing the world one episode at a time. So Yoshi's Woolly World coming out fall 2015, right? So that is sometime, again, in that sort of frame where I'm trying to think what came out last year around that time.
Bayonetta.
Fall time. Bayonetta, yeah. So we're looking at this year's like
Hyrule
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors, Bayonetta, that sort of time frame from last year. So and I don't know, it's looking really good. And they also showed off the, what do they call it, mellow mode, which is like just easy mode for kids, right? To where you just kind of fly around. Seems really cool, and the amiibo functionality allows you to unlock. It's basically like using a cherry in like like 3D World, right, where you get a second Yoshi. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool, and you can suck him up and throw him, and it seems like actually really cool integration. Those
functionality also exists as a two-player co-op, similar to what you
can suck up your friends
Kirby
too,
Yarn
right?
game had that too.
Yeah. So also, and I mean, those amiibo look adorable, right? I think they're obviously going to be bigger than the current amiibo. They're probably going to be a little bit bigger, and they just have the NFC disc just on the bottom under, like on his tail there. Really cool. I think it's a great idea, and we're going to see more. We're going to see more of those sort of diversification of what amiibo really is, and we'll talk about that more later on with the Animal Crossing game. But we're definitely going to be seeing amiibo is definitely a platform, and they said that when they announced it. It's a platform. It's not necessarily a specific thing. It's more of an interface from video games into the real world, into some sort of merchandise, and I think that this is an awesome idea. So next up is, any other thoughts on Yoshi's Woolly World?
I'm really interested in actually now picking it up.
Yeah,
after watching this trailer a bit more and actually seeing the different modes of it, I think this might be a really cool game to pick up. And I think the only problem is I know I'm gonna have to buy 2 of those amiibos.
Oh, totally, dude.
Like one's gonna be pink, one's gonna be green.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up on the list is Splatoon, and Splatoon, I think they showed off the Turf Wars again. Well, they showed off Turf War. They showed off, what was it called? Splat Zones.
Yep.
And the new one, which was, anyways, it was a one-on-one battle, right?
Dojo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Battle Dojo.
Yeah. Sure. You'd think that we knew these things.
If only we can go to our PR release that they sent us a couple moments ago.
Ranked battle, Battle Dojo. You're right, Jesse. So basically it's a one-on-one local play mode in which you are trying to take out the most balloons in a single time. By the way, did either of you watch the Treehouse live stream afterwards?
I watched like the first 10 minutes of it, but because my
that's kind of what I did too.
My oldest 2 had a concert tonight, so I had to drive them to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It looked pretty good. They were playing a little bit of that one-on-one, and it looked pretty awesome. Also, showing off the rumor of the 3 amiibo. Wow. The Splatoon amiibo for Splatoon are confirmed from that leak that came out of, I guess it was South America or somewhere South Africa, Brazil. I don't know where it was, but that rumor of the Splatoon amiibo confirmed. We have a boy, a girl, and a squid amiibo that are all coming. In North America, the green squid amiibo is exclusive to the 3-pack, although you can buy the boy or the girl separately, or you can buy a 3-pack that has all of them in there. In Europe, they are actually going to have a bundle that includes the green squid amiibo for Splatoon, as well as, and you can buy the 2 other ones separately. So I don't know. One thing I did notice was that there a complete absence of any functionality so far, and this is just so far, for any of the other amiibo. Like, we had kind of predicted that you'll be able to put your Mario amiibo on there and get a Mario hat or something like that. No word of that at all yet. Basically, this Splatoon
still may happen.
Yeah, I think
new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with that, Jesse.
They just want to build the hype for the amiibo, hey?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, so I think...
And it gives you
I think for sure...
Like,
you basically...
to get gear that are only exclusive to those with amiibo.
Exactly, yeah. So, and, it's very cool. I like those. I definitely am going to be placing my pre-order for that 3-pack tomorrow.
So it's basically
when pre-orders go up.
By figurine.
Yep.
Don't judge us.
Which is exactly, which I'm totally down for. I'm really excited for, like, just the look of those amiibo. They look great. Have you seen the actual? There have been a few pictures where you can actually see what is on the base. It's obviously not like a Smash Brothers base, but it's the black base, right, for the amiibo. I'm holding my Ike amiibo right now, and it's got the gold coin for Smash Brothers. But it actually has, like, splattered ink on the on, like, an otherwise black pedestal.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's if you actually go to Amazon.com right now and you type in Splatoon amiibo, they have a 3-pack there already available, or not available, but that you can actually kind of scroll over and take a good look at the pictures. So actually, I did a quick kind of like go into Splatoon's website to see, because they can do the pre-orders. In Canada, Splatoon is retailing for $69.99 at Best Buys and stuff like that. So that's a pretty high price point. And then you add on the amiibo package, which will probably be up in Canada another $40. So you're looking at about $110 when you're all said and done.
The Amazon listing
dude, that's.
Yeah, the Amazon in Canada has it listed at 65.
Okay, the US one doesn't.
Yeah.
65 for which?
For just the game on Amazon.ca.
Okay. So $65 plus the plus 40.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 40.
Like, yeah, for the 3-pack.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. But I don't know. I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, it's pretty awesome. I don't know. Actually, looking at the detail on these, and I don't want to spend too much time on it, but if you actually look at the boy and girl ones, they actually have, like, transparent ink canisters on their backs, and there's actually ink inside this transparent ink canister, and it's not painted on or anything. Like, they've actually, like, molded it in such a way so the canisters are clear, and there's, like, ink inside that canister.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, they've done their due diligence on this, and I think they've learned some lessons from. Like, if you look at the green one, I think they've learned some lessons from the weird stands they had to do for the Smash Brothers. This doesn't look like a weird stick up the squid.
Yeah, they've clearly been designed to withhold their own weight.
Yeah, someone went back to design school and looked at that again.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm really excited for those. They look great. So take my money, Nintendo, for that. Moving on, we have this is weird to me. This Nintendo 64 and Nintendo DS coming to Wii U Virtual Console. So today after the Direct, Super Mario 64 and what was it? Was it Yoshi's Island DS? Were both released onto the eShop. I had purchased Mario 64 on the Wii eShop, or what was it? Is that what it was called?
The WiiWare, I think. WiiWare?
The Wii Shop or something. Yeah. Anyways, I had purchased that, so I was able to spend $2 and get it online. The Wii Shop channel. There you go. And so I did download that and played it a little bit. I only played it on the gamepad, but I don't know. It's funny. It was that weird sort of thing where it's being emulated at least on the gamepad. I don't know if it's actually being displayed in HD on the TV, but it's that weird thing where you emulate a Nintendo 64 game, and it's really sharp models, but really crappy textures and really low polygon count. And I think that's just going to be a common thing with all of the 64 games.
I did the same thing. I didn't look at the gamepad when I tried it out. I suppose it probably would be the better experience because it is basically a 480p display, maybe just a little bit wider. But yeah, I loaded it up and took some screenshots with my capture card, and while it's still rendering at 480i and then being upscaled to 720p, it is exactly as I predicted. It looks like garbage.
It looks about as good as you'd expect a 64 game to get, though, right?
But
they've done a great job at emulating it, but it's still a Nintendo
what
64
they need to do
game.
is emulate scan lines. Then I think it would look better.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. It's so that's just, I mean, a 64 game is what it's going to be, right? Like it is what it is. You're not going to be surprised by that.
Yeah.
It's what I think is it's just the weirdest thing ever. But this idea of that it's a great idea to bring Nintendo DS games to the Wii U, and not the 3DS for some reason. And they kind of show different videos of the DS, and I love the fact that if you decide to have both screens on your TV, you actually have an option to have a DS Fat displayed when you're playing the game on your TV.
Is that how it works?
So
I didn't. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like, yeah, if you actually like look up a trailer, I watched a trailer of Yoshi's Island DS, like the Virtual Console release, and it's really weird. But other than that, there's definitely we have a lot of other 64 games and DS games coming to the Wii U in the future. Of note, I think was one of my all-time favorites, Donkey Kong 64, is coming on the 16th, which is going to be pretty awesome. Any others standing out for you guys as far as games that you are likely to pick up?
WarioWare Touched.
Okay.
I had the DS cart when it was new and liked it. And,
right on.
So
Nothing for me really stands out right now. I mean, I was much like you, Zach. I had Super Mario 64, so I paid the $2 to have it transported from the Wii to my Wii U. But nothing there really stands out for me. Really, what I want to see is I want to see the Ocarina of Time, and I want to see Star Fox, and I want to see those ones moved over.
Yeah, for sure.
And I had Majora's Mask, so I'd like to see that brought over.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, it's nice that they're on there, but I feel like I hope they don't do the same thing. Eventually they're going to have all of their platforms on there. I wonder if they're maybe just trying to get all of the emulation working properly on the hardware, and then they'll decide what pieces of, what software to bring over to the Wii U. But like we had the Wii Virtual Console stuff, appear on the eShop, and the initial 3 games came out, and then we haven't heard anything since. I think the European Nintendo Direct, they actually did announce that a few more games are coming out over there, but not here. So, or at least that wasn't announced here. So, it's interesting that they're just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. We'll just bring this other Virtual Console and just a little bit from everything. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they roll it out in the future. So. Yeah, anyways, next up on the list, what do we have here?
They did some indies.
Yeah, indie reel. So anything standing out for you guys? I honestly I don't know why, but a lot of times in the indie section, my eyes glaze over. I don't know why, but anything standing out to you guys?
Go ahead, Jesse.
Okay, a friend of mine got Don't Starve for PS4 when that launched and liked it and told me I should get it. And I haven't gotten around to getting it yet, so I might get it on the Wii U.
Yeah,
I tried that one on. I've tried Don't Starve on Vita. I think it was free on PS Plus a while ago, so I tried it on Vita, and I was kind of like, I can kind of.
Because I've had PS Plus since before PS4 launched.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's all right. I wasn't crazy about it, but
I I thought the interesting thing that they mentioned about Do Not Starve was that if you purchase it, you actually get 2 additional codes, download codes to give away.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
Was it 1 or 2?
I
think it's 1.
Oh, I thought
you
it was
get
2.
One
I apologize.
You get 2 copies total.
Oh,
one
okay.
And then 1 you give away.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, I thought. For me, the things that I thought stood out was Adventures of Pip. That looked really cool.
Which one had the
was a little cube, hey?
3DS?
Wasn't that Mutant Mudds?
Yeah, that was Mutant Mudds.
They also have a loyalty one, so if you purchased it in the past, if you purchased the other one, then you have it. I have Mutant Mudds on 3DS, so we'll see how much that's going to cost me. I may try it, although I'm not super crazy about Mutant Mudds. I may be in the minority here, but I'm not a huge fan.
I didn't like it.
So it was decent, I guess, but that was it. Anything else? Again, like I said, there's not a whole lot there that I'm super pumped about, but that's just me.
They had a pretty good, kind of, they identified a couple of them, then they did a little highlight montage reel of some of the games that they've got in the pipe. And again, I think it's just a great example of how Nintendo does give support and love to their indie scene. Third party, we've talked about this before, third parties just aren't developing for them, so they've really leaned into and supporting their indie scene. So I thought this was a great example of some of the things that are coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I guess Deadliest Octodad's continues to look super weird. That's on other platforms already, but that one looks pretty weird and awesome. So.
We already have that we bought it on Steam back in Black Friday sale.
Cool.
Yeah. Right. What was noticeably missing, though, just as a quick little statement that I saw, was no Mighty Number 9.
Oh,
still waiting on that. Although I saw some stuff on the Twitter today mentioning that they expect to have an announcement soon. But cool. I digress.
Right on. Next up is Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, which is the game that was announced over 2 years ago in a Nintendo Direct. Basically, it's very clear now that it was only a way to hold off the masses who were saying, "Why in the world did I buy a Wii U?" That was when that was announced. As I was kind of watching Twitter as the Direct was going, people were like, "Oh, this looks like a weird anime game. What is this?" And then suddenly people were like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's Marth. Oh, wait a minute, wait, this is Fire." Really? And so, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, they didn't really show much. They showed some gameplay, but I really didn't understand what was going on in the gameplay. We didn't really get a whole lot of an idea of what the gameplay is like.
It looked like most of the gameplay was more leaning towards Shin Megami Tensei.
It really did, yeah. And so
with the music that they chose to play with it, someone on Twitter said, "This isn't Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. This is Persona Cross Fire Emblem."
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like it looked a lot more like, and maybe that's just the effect of crossing Fire Emblem, which is a little bit more, I don't want to say upbeat, but a little bit more colorful than Shin Megami Tensei is. And so what you end up with is something that is more the tone of Persona than Shin Megami Tensei. Does that make sense? Like maybe that's what's going on, but I don't know. Honestly, my only thoughts about this so far are, it looks really nice. Visually, it's beautiful, but I really don't know what else to think about it other than that. I didn't recognize any of the Fire Emblem characters. Wii U.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Wii U game.
This was going to be a 3DS game for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, when it was announced, I'm pretty sure that they said that it was going to be for Wii U. So it's going to be a full-blown RPG, and of note, there was no date announced, which obviously, it's going to be 2016. I would be surprised if it was out any early. If it came out this year, I'd be very surprised. So, Justin, how are you feeling about this game? And Jesse, how are you guys feeling?
Jesse, I'll let you go first.
If the gameplay is more Shin Megami Tensei / Persona, I probably will give it a try. If the gameplay is more the Fire Emblem, then I'll pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about you, Justin? This isn't really your style of game, is it?
No, unfortunately it isn't. And again, it's one of those things where, I always feel bad. Like I'm the one person who's like, not really. Thanks, guys. It looks.
Recall that one of my anticipated games for 2015 was Persona 5.
Yeah. I think it looks good. Like, it looks like fun. I think there's definitely a niche market for it that people like. It's just not floating my boat.
Yeah, right on. Next one is Fatal Frame for Wii U. Jesse, are you familiar with this game? Like, this is a game that's been out in Japan for a long time, right?
Not at all. I've never played seen a Fatal Frame game. I have no idea how they work.
Okay. So basically, it's like a horror game. It's obvious. From what it appears, and we're all in the dark on this one apparently. No pun intended. But it seems like it's a sort of survival horror game where you're using a camera to stay alive somehow, and so you're using the gamepad as a camera. I don't know. It seems interesting. Honestly, though, for a split second, there was that weird thing where like Bill Trinin's talking, and all of a sudden it shorts out, and there's like this weird, there was like a picture of him like being scared as it shorted out or whatever. And for a split second, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the sanity effects from Eternal Darkness. I am going to die if they're announcing an Eternal Darkness sequel. I was like, this is amazing. Oh, it's Fatal Frame. Never mind. But yeah, did either of you guys play Eternal Darkness, by the way, on the GameCube?
No.
I think I tried once, but I didn't get very far.
It's very creepy. The whole thing behind that game was you're fighting like, monsters and like zombies and stuff, undead guys. But as you continued to fight them, they actually, just being in their presence and fighting them you had a sanity meter, and the more you fought them and ran into these monsters, the more insane they drove you, and the game would start to play tricks on you. So you would
start breaking fourth walls.
It would, yeah, like exactly. It
would make it look like your volume was going down.
Yeah, and even things like where
card got corrupted.
Yeah, or even littler things like, and I mean, if you were playing this game, like there were a few times where I was playing this game late at night in the dark by myself, where you would just like, I'd be playing and then suddenly I'm in this new room and I'm like, what the heck? I can't do anything. And then I kind of realize, oh my gosh, my character has no head and there's blood dripping down from their neck, and what the heck is going on? And then it would flash and the character would be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Or there would be like, and it would like legitimately get to me at times. There was one where there was like a fly on the screen. Like it was actually like a shadow of a fly on the screen. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I like try and like wave it away, and all of a sudden, and it won't go away. And suddenly there's like more landing on the screen and, all that kind of thing. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh, never mind. Oh man, that game messed with me a few times. It was really good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is not what this is. Although, I guess that it is something that they tried to kickstart a while back and is still under development, is the spiritual successor to that. But that has nothing to do with this Nintendo Direct. I was just wanting to reminisce for a minute. So, anyways,
Feel better?
I do. Although I'm still sad that that's not what this is. Anyways, Box Boy is the next.
Sad. Ugh.
Yeah. Box Boy is the next game on the list, and it's coming out tomorrow, right? For 3DS.
Yep. April 2nd.
Yeah, and so Jesse, what do you think? Speaking of being sad,
I don't know. This looks just. I don't know if it's the game I'd want to play or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it could be
this
sort
is the
of
type
endearing.
Of game that really screams, I need a demo.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's kind of like an eShop game, right? So it may not be worth very much. It may not cost very much to give it a shot. Hopefully, it looks like it may be a cheap game. I'm not sure. I don't know. It looks kind of endearing, and yeah, it looks kind of fun. We'll see how the reviews are tomorrow, and we may, I don't know. I might give it a shot. I might not. We'll see. Next one up on the list is Pokemon Rumble World. And when I got home today, I was just like, just as before we started recording, I was kind of rewatching the Direct. I was laying with the gamepad on my bed, and my son was desperately trying to avoid bedtime, and so he like jumped up on the bed and started watching, and this came on, and he was like, oh, what is this game? Because he's a 4-year-old, and we actually have the Wii U game on. And he plays that all the time. It's very much like for a young kid who just wants to play Pokemon and beat up bad guys and whatever. you literally just have to run around and push A and you win. So it's a great game for him, and the great thing for me is it's free to play. So we can just download it for him, and he can play it until he's out of coins or whatever, and then it's kind of got its own sort of built-in timer. Like, oh, looks like you're out of coins. I guess you're gonna have to put it away for a while, buddy. So I don't know. It's definitely, I think it's cool for him. I'm excited for him to play it, and I'll probably download it and play a little bit so that he can street pass. But other than that, I think it's obviously meant for kids. So I don't know. Any thoughts on that on that before we move on, guys?
I'm still playing Shuffle.
Yeah, it seems like Pokemon is definitely like lately their go-to free-to-play game thing. So
I didn't like any of the versions, but I did buy the WiiWare version. My son played through it, and he kind of liked it, I think. And we rented the 3DS version, and he played the hell out of it. Like I actually had a few friends of my 3DS friends pick on me, saying, "Why are you playing that game all day?" I'm like, "It's not me, it's my kid." That was back when we only had 2 3DSs, me and my wife. That was before all the kids had their own 3DSs. But when we bought the Wii U version and my kid played it, and he's like, not really.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's free. We'll probably still download it and try it, but if it's like the last free-to-play Pokemon game, it'll probably get an hour of play and then delete it.
Yeah, it seems pretty decent. It's a pretty harmless sort of, either you like it or you don't, and it seems pretty simple. So next up on the list is something that I'm also kind of feeling a little bit sort of, I'm not too sure about. I'm interested, but I'm apparently going to be spending over $100 on Splatoon the week after Puzzle and Dragons comes out, and so this may go by the wayside when it's first released. Puzzle and Dragons releases on May 22nd, and apparently there's going to be a demo version of the Mario edition on April 30th. And other than that, this is just more, it's the game that we expected. They kind of just showed some more footage on it. Justin, how are you feeling about Puzzle and Dragons?
I think Puzzle and Dragons looks really cool. Again, kind of a bit of match 3, very much in the vein of Pokemon Shuffle. I downloaded the app. I think we talked about this before and played it, and I thought it was kind of fun. I just have a problem with the price on it, to be really honest. It's
$30.
$30 for this, and I'm not saying it's bad, but 6 weeks ago you gave me Pokemon Shuffle pretty much for free. And the premise is the same. I do like the fact there's Mario components of it. Like, I get all that, but this just feels like it's a high price game for something that I don't know if I get as much value out of. The thing I like about Pokemon Shuffle is that I can only play it for 5 turns and put it down, right? Because I'm like, no, I'm good for another 5 hours. Whereas I feel like this is just this just sucks my time.
I think that it's kind of a mistake to bundle, like, as much as I like the idea of it being $30 for 2 games. If I wanted both games, that'd be a great price, but I don't. I only want one. I don't need both of them. So I don't know why they're.
I'm hoping they kind of do what they did with Bayonetta digitally, is you could buy one for a price, and then if you want the other one, then it becomes the total of $30. But if you only want the one, then you're maybe paying $20. Like 20,
I think
for the
so.
First, 10 for the second, or something like that.
I think so too, but the thing that makes me worry about that, and I figured that I thought that that's what it would be, but they actually showed the title screen of the game in the Direct, and it was definitely like both of the game titles at once on a title screen. So I think it's bundled software, like it's both games in a single software package.
See, the way they were talking about it initially is I thought it was going to be 2 separate carts, because these were released.
Yeah, no, it's one cart.
It has 2 separate games.
Yeah, no, it's one cart.
Yeah, well, then that's out of the picture.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm definitely less interested if I have to buy both at once. Again, especially if I'm going to be paying over $100 for Splatoon the week after and all those amiibos. So yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit of a disappointment that we have to do that, but we'll see. Next up is Attack on Titan: Humanity in Chains, which apparently Attack on Titan is a thing that people enjoy. Roger was really excited on Twitter when we saw this, but other than that, I don't know. It looks interesting. It's definitely a wait and see. How are the reviews sort of deal for me though. It could be fun. It may be
definitely not a game for your kids.
Oh really? Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen any of this Attack on Titan stuff. So
yeah, it's the anime is pretty gruesome at times, and I think I saw it was rated M.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's good to know.
Of course, my 13-year-old likes the anime, so.
Cool. Right on. Next up is Codename Steam. There's an update on Codename Steam for that. Apparently, they heard all of the complaints about not being able to skip or speed up the enemy turns, and so wish granted. The update is coming to enable you to do just that. That will be coming on April 5th. No, sorry. That will be coming. It just says an upcoming software update. Never mind. Anyways, that upcoming software update will allow you to fast forward through the enemy turns, which will speed up the game. Other than that, they also announced another tournament, which is going on until the end of the week. And so I'll probably jump in there and try out that tournament again. But yeah, just basically reminding people that Codename Steam is a thing, especially as time goes on with, obviously I didn't realize until we talked to Alex that, yeah, Codename Steam is only out in North America right now. So everybody else is going to be
Yeah, I forgot about that this afternoon when they said that they're going to try to get Marth Amiibos out around May, which my initial thought was, are people going to care about it at that time? But then I forgot that, yeah, that's when it'll launch in Europe and Japan.
Yeah.
So they'll care about it.
Yeah, they'll care about it, and I mean, I'm still interested in getting a Robin amiibo at least, or Lucina, one or the other, just as another Fire Emblem amiibo in the game. But yeah, Justin, are you interested in getting any more Fire Emblem amiibos for Codename Steam, or are you kind of just like, yeah, I tried Ike and
I'm kind of I tried Ike. I'm happy with that, and I'm good right now. So yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the other tournament that they're rolling out. I already registered for it today, and I'm excited they're kind of making these little adjustments to they listen to the fans. They'd like some things changed, and I think that's a bit of a growing theme we saw throughout this direct. Is we've listened to fans. Here are some things we'd like to do, and I thought that was really good. That was a great move for them.
Totally. Next up is Street Pass Mii Plaza. So there's a couple of updates. The first one is Ultimate Angler and Battleground Z. So 2 more Street Pass games that are coming to the 3DS. Did they say when? This
is a patch, I think, 16? In 60. Yeah, 16. Like, here's the big thing, folks. If you have a Nintendo 3DS or a Wii U, that little blue light is going to be going on a lot in the next, 6 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're patching a lot of stuff.
So there's going to be... So these 2 games are available, as well as Premium, which we'll talk about in a second. But these 2 games are going to be available for $5 each or $8 total if you do the 2 combined. And they're 2 games. One is a fishing game where Street Pass gets you bait to go fishing. And by the way, just as kind of a side note, I noticed I want that Inkling hat for my Mii in Street Pass. That's currently, I haven't seen that anywhere. That's obviously coming in that update as well. So I really want to get that Inkling hat for my Mii. The other one is Battleground Z, which is a zombie shooting game, which is pretty cool. And then the Street Pass Mii Plaza Premium, which the only 2 things they really showed for it were, for $5 you can get a calendar so that you can start collecting people's birthdays as well, instead of just on the map. You kind of get I have all these people with all the map, I have from all the states or from all whatever. You now will be able to do birthdays, and it also allows you to save particular Mii in a VIP area, which I don't really understand what the VIP area is for, but it's there. So yeah, Justin, how are you feeling about these? You're a fairly new 3DS owner. Does any of the Street Pass stuff interest you?
Yeah, I think you know what. I'm going to be honest. I really like Street Pass. I think it's really cool. You and I have met for coffee before, and just bring out 3DSs, and I'm like, hey, the green lights, yay! And it sounds, and I bring it to work, and I take it out of my bag, and I get a green light. I'm like, yay! Even though I've met this person 12 times now, but yay! I find it very cool. I like the idea of it. I'm excited for these new games. Well, actually, I should say I'm only really excited for the Battleground Z. I think this Angler one I don't really get. The Street Pass Mini Plaza Premium, I'm finding that one a bit tough to swallow. Like for extra $5, I can put their birthday in my calendar, or I can put them in a special VIP room, and I can allow for 100 Miis that I've created. Yeah, I don't feel like that's worth my $5.
They need to outline that more, I think. Once we kind of, once that's released and some, people like Game Explain or whatever have kind of gone through and showed what exactly you're getting for that money, I feel like I'll be able to make a better purchase decision for that.
Yeah. But
I also just realized that, when you make your Mii in the Street Pass app and you kind of choose it, at one of the fields is what is your hobby, and that information up until now has been completely useless. It doesn't do anything. Yes, you can go in and look at your amiibo and say, oh yeah, this person's hobby is this, but it doesn't do anything. And that the Battleground Z actually does use that information when you're street passing to provide specific items based on your hobby, which is kind of cool. It's a new thing, right? So it's not all based on the color of your Mii at that point. So
yeah,
I don't know.
No,
neat little detail.
I think it's a really cool update. I'm excited to see it again. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think Street Pass is pretty cool.
Right on. Next up is sorry, I'm like losing my voice suddenly.
2 days of podcasting.
Yeah. Like a rookie. There we go. I got some water in me. Next one up here is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. We got a new trailer. Anything new? Did we learn anything new here, Jesse?
I don't remember seeing anything new.
They kind of showed off like the gallery, the sort of the equivalent of like the trophy room.
Yeah, that was a new
which I think is kind of new.
Something. Both times I watched it, that kind of phased over my head. This is now the 35-minute mark of the video, and I was just getting to get brain dead.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, that's coming next week. You said you're picking that up, Jesse, so I'm looking forward to seeing your impressions or hearing your impressions about that in a couple of weeks.
So am I.
Sure.
Because I tried the Wii version, couldn't get very far in it. I'm hoping if I can get far into this, then I'll probably get X when it comes out on Wii U. If I still get stall out early on the 3D version, then I'm just going to say I'm not even going to try X.
I know that this will sound out of character for me, but I've been looking at this more and more, and I think this looks cool enough that I was last week thinking about picking it up.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I don't know what. I was just watching some videos of it and some trailers, and I thought, that this is a very, it's very outside of my comfort zone of typically what I play. Obviously, as we've kind of joked about and had a laugh, but it was something that I was like, this might be in my wheelhouse. And then I realized that, I could pick it up, but not ever be able to play it just based on time. I need games I need games where I can literally be like, oh, okay, I have 30 minutes. I can play that right now. Cool. Not, I have 5 hours. I can sit down and try this.
Yeah, so you may actually finally at the end of my day, I'm going to sit and try and play this game, and then suddenly it'll be like the next morning, and you have to go to work.
Yeah, so this to me is actually starting to, this is actually looking quite good. So Jesse, I'm going to be really interested to hear your feedback on this.
Right on. Also, following that, there's just a few more things. We're almost done. Fire Emblem was the next one. I like that they called it Fire Emblem, although obviously that's still the working title. But it is not like they didn't say the latest in the Fire Emblem series anymore. But yeah, so it's definitely looking really. I was really excited by this trailer and the footage that they were showing. So basically, the idea being that you are your own character, right? Like you create the main character in the game, which I feel like sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not. Depending on the game, like if you don't have a really well-defined character, I think it's sometimes a missed opportunity. But in this particular game, I think it's going to be really awesome. even in Fire Emblem Awakening, it was really cool to kind of have your own avatar in there as the character, the support character. This looks really cool. My only concern about having this sort of pick a side, the good guys or bad guys. Obviously, it's not that simple, but picking one side of this conflict, it means basically that you're gonna have to play the game twice to get the full thing. And it took me a long time to beat Fire Emblem Awakening. I put a lot of time. Right, like I put a ton of time into that game, and so I'm like, I don't want to miss anything by playing one or the other. So then I'll probably have to play it twice, which I don't know if it's different enough on both sides. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm definitely excited for it.
Sounds like the difficulty's ramped up on the one side.
Yeah, it does. It seems like maybe you play through the the white side first, and then the black side second. To kind of get your feet wet with the easier mode first, and then go ahead with the other side. I don't know. How are you guys feeling about Fire Emblem so far? Like, how does that look? Justin, does this look like something, having now played Codename Steam and kind of got your feet wet with the turn-based strategy, do you feel like this is more interesting?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely piqued my interest. I'm still, I haven't completed Codename Steam, and I'm really enjoying that right now. But I feel like after I kind of finish that game, this may be somewhere where I want to begin to look and say, like, oh, this is kind of on my horizon. I guess, if I'm going to use the Wii U or the 3DS kind of statement of it, I'd put it on my wish list for sure right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Next up, we got information on the first Amiibo cards that are going to be released now, did they specifically say fall for this?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so basically what we're getting is Amiibo cards that will be released alongside the NFC reader for regular 3DS and 2DS and 3DS XL, not the non-new 3DS. Will also be released that day, as well as Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, which I was a little bit confused about. Like, is this going to be a retail release or an eShop release? It feels more like an eShop game looking at it, but it also seems like maybe as the trailer kind of went on, it seems like it may be a full-blown game. Like a spin-off sort of Animal Crossing game. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting. I'm interested to see how they roll out the cards, and if this is how successful their distribution of cards is going to end up being. I think if they go full-blown, it's going to be, they should be hanging right next to the Pokemon cards and the Magic cards and stuff like that in the impulse buy section of Walmart. But I don't know if they're going to go that full-blown on it or not. Otherwise, they definitely seem like, they're really cool designed cards, and the idea of just having an entire game based around decorating houses and stuff, it kind of brings out it brings back fond memories of Animal Crossing, which I'm looking forward to potentially playing. So I don't know, any thoughts on this for you guys?
I thought this was really interesting. So in this direct, we saw three variants of Amiibo. We saw the traditional Amiibo that we're used to, the statue character. We saw a Yoshi, which is a knitted Amiibo, and then we finished off with this card Amiibo. Now, again, we're not shocked that cards was the way we all kind of suspected this is the way it was going to go. I don't know if this is the game and I don't know if this is the full application of how you'd want to use the card Amiibos. It feels a bit odd. It almost makes me feel, and I think you're questioning there, Zach, of like what kind of game this could be. This could actually be a free game completely, but to actually complete the tasks, you need to buy the cards. Do you mean? So I'm very interested to see how they're going to roll this out. And is this the IP that they would have wanted to kind of lean into with this new idea, or should it be something a little bit more popular, a bit more well known?
Animal Crossing, though, dude, is one of the best-selling 3DS games.
Really?
Like, do not underestimate the power of Animal Crossing. Okay. I think that for Amiibo cards being the sort of portable version of Amiibo, where you're not hauling the figures around, you're hauling around cards instead. Maybe a binder or something if you're really hardcore about it.
Yeah.
Especially in Japan. It is very, very popular. It was, I think it was probably like released in 2012, so it's been quite a while since it came out. But it was a very big deal in Japan for sure.
All right, so maybe I'm underestimating the weight of it. So maybe I'm 100% wrong, which does tie into our Mario Kart 8 DLC coming up soon. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I would also say that just an interesting kind of insider's information here. We all received press information about this announcement today, and out of the entire press information that we received, the only image in the actual announcement from Nintendo was this picture of these cards.
Really? Okay, yeah.
That's the only thing within this entire huge write-up we received that's an actual visual image is these 3 cards that they demoed, and that was it. They said a totally new form of amiibo is coming this fall. The first set of amiibo cards will be based on Animal Crossing. That's interesting. Listen to that statement. The first set of amiibo cards will be based on Animal Crossing characters and will be compatible with Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer game.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's definitely, I don't know, it's interesting to see. Again, they didn't give a lot of information on it, right? So it could be a free-to-play game that is entirely designed to get you out in stores buying these cards, or it could be a full-blown game with the same cards. We really have no idea either way. So I suspect that we'll see more about this at E3. We'll probably see a very similar sort of, last year they showed off the amiibo in the big glass display. I am guessing we're going to see a bunch of amiibo cards shown off at E3 for this. So
yeah, it sounded like, based on how he described it, is the cards are required to complete whatever tasks. So my guess is it's going to be a free game where you have to buy the cards. And that's where they get their revenue.
Either that, or we may see a situation where you can go out to the store and either buy a pack of cards with the like a game similar to Kid Icarus where they had those AR cards and it came packed into the game, or you could potentially buy a digital code with a pack of cards or something. I don't know.
It could be my booster pack prediction.
Yeah, there you go. Right on. So
I called it blind bag, but it's basically the same as a booster pack from Magic the Gathering or Pokemon cards.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, we've got just the last game on the list here. We have Mario Kart 8. Animal Crossing DLC is coming. They showed off the Animal Crossing track, as well as we've got our first look at the first 2 carts for the track. We've got this little scarab beetle thing, as well as a little scooter for Animal Crossing, and we've got the villager. We've got male and female villager, which is New Revelation, as well as Isabelle and Dry Bowser. Got to look at the Animal Crossing stage, as well as additional 9 more racing suits for the game. So we've got a ton of a lot more costumes for your Miis. I know that there were a few of them in there that I own. So Mega Man, Sonic, Toad. I'm trying to think what else I have here. Just looking over at my pile of amiibos.
Who else in there? Wario, Pac-Man, Rosalina, Olimar, Villager.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Olimar was in there, considering he doesn't come out until September.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But I think that's...
I remember seeing the Pac-Man and Sonic ones in the video. I like how the Pac-Man one has... actually, the Pac-Man on the back of the helmet was animated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it totally was. It's pretty cool. And then, honestly, one of the most exciting things in this entire Direct, for me at least, I think this is really, really awesome, is the introduction of 200cc in Mario Kart 8. And watching the trailer for that, it is obscenely fast. As playing Mario Kart 8 at a whole new speed seems really exciting to me. It really made the game look way more fun. And it's already a really, really fun game, but it looks like it's just amazing. I almost wonder, and maybe this is just me being ridiculous, but I almost wonder if they're going to have issues with tracking online play. Like if they're going to run into issues with that. I don't know. I'm sure they've tested it, but it seemed really, really fast. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for it. I think this is a great example again. And actually, before we dive into that, I think the one thing we have to actually mention here, Zach, that I was actually shocked by is that we were told this DLC pack was coming out in early May. They actually said, oh, by the way, it's done early. We're going to give it to you near the end of April instead. About 2 weeks earlier than what we all suspected.
Before the Mewtwo.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, so we get the codes. You know, if you have the codes for Smash Brothers, and you get those on the 16th, and then the week after you've got this DLC, then the Mewtwo DLC is released the week after that. So
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, very cool. I'm really impressed with that, and I mean, it really just goes to show we've got a big couple of months ahead of us, and I'm feeling like we're gonna have to make some decisions. You know what I mean? Like there's so much stuff that we're in a situation where we have to decide. Okay, what do I actually want to play? Because I want to be playing Splatoon with the amiibo, and I'm actually kind of interested in Puzzle and Dragons, but then we've also got this DLC. Good thing I paid for it already, but you know, there's so much stuff that's available there, and it's crazy. And
that's the funny part, right? We were talking in some pre-shows about 2 weeks ago that it kind of felt like feast or famine, and that we were about to enter a famine period of Nintendo for the next 6 to 7 weeks, where we're like, oh, we'll have some Mario Kart 8 download or DLC and some Splatoon, and I guess we're at E3 and it's gonna be pretty quiet. But this really was kind of them being like, no, we got a whole lot more. Don't forget. And I was so impressed by the end of it. Going back to your question about 200 CCs, I'm super excited for it. But just watching the gameplay footage, I was like, this is so Twitch based, right? Like this is like you have to know.
You gotta memorize the track.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
What it feels like. In fact, I think there was actually a moment in the video where I don't know if maybe I just have never tried to like go through this particular shortcut, but it almost looked like they were going so fast on one of the levels that they clipped through. You know, like it glitched through one of the fences.
It wasn't a glitch. It looked like it was like a cardboard cutout of a bush, and he just knocked it
Okay.
over.
Oh, that's. Oh, I know what level you're at. That's that's always been there.
Oh, that's always been there. I never knew that. It honestly looked, because I didn't know that was there, and it honestly looked to me like it was like they were going so fast they clipped through it.
Yeah, it's in Yoshi something, right? It's Yoshi's Egg or something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's one of the older stages.
I can barely play the 100 CCs, and I've never been able to play 150. So 200 is something I'm never going to try.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be pretty.
If crazy, I do, I'm going to have a gamepad thrown through a wall.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the last thing on the Nintendo Direct. Sort of like big sort of impressions overall, guys. How are you feeling about the Direct?
My biggest thought is like this was a 50-minute Direct that they then did some live streaming afterwards. Like, what are they going to do at E3? This is incredible. Like, I'm so impressed with what they did. I don't really
2 hours of Metroid. That's
2 hours of Metroid. I like it. And the general reaction from the internet and from Twitter and everything is that people seem pretty impressed with it as well. So I thought really well done.
Metroid and Amiibo.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. For sure. Well, hey guys, we still have a winner to announce for our contest. So
and we've got some fan interaction too.
And we definitely do. Let's head into listener mail, shall
we? Let's do it.
All right. Well, listener mail this week. What do we got so far, guys? We definitely reached out on Twitter after the Direct and on Facebook. What are the fans saying, Justin?
Yeah, so I'd say actually a couple of things. We over the last little bit, I do want to make a statement. We've gathered some more followers through social media, through Facebook and Twitter. Thank you guys very much. Some of the new followers that I'd like to highlight out are Frozen Games. We also see we received another one, Gavancho13, Matt Crane. He mentioned, I enjoyed Nintendo Dad's episode 20. Can I suggest that guy keeps saying Mario the way he wants to? It's a little different, but I like it. Matt, I like you. That guy.
Your name.
I know, right? That's fair enough. I don't mind that.
His name is Justin, and he's a human being.
Alan Haas from Twitter said he was hoping that if the leaks were true, that they'd be getting Skyward Sword and Sin and Punishment on Virtual Console for $10. We had some conversations this week with Imogen Forum, who's making Steam World Heist that we're excited to play. And we also asked after the Direct, hey guys.
Zach called me out on that one.
Yeah, I did see that. It was very nice. Don't slap the guy who's giving us free codes, by the way. So Zach, we asked the question of like what were your thoughts of the Direct? What did you like? What were the best and worst moments? Brett, Brett is a loyal fan of the show, and we appreciate him. He mentions the best things he enjoyed was the Yoshi Knit Amiibo, which wasn't a shock, because he said it's literally a dream come true. N64 to the Wii U, Smash, and Mario Kart 8 updates and DLC, so we agree with that. He said the worsts, no OOT.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, there you go, perfect, thank you very much. And he said no Star Fox update, and not in the Direct. Yeah. And he said, not in the Direct, but NES Amiibo is a GameStop exclusive. So he was a bit sad about that. But we saw lots of stuff on Facebook and Twitter. And again, guys, thank you so much. We got, when they came out with the fake news about the whole the Direct, we had a bunch of people send us tweets and say, hey, have you guys seen this? And even when the Zelda news broke, hey, guys, what are your thoughts on this? So, guys, we have the best fans. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. And finally, we are going to announce the winner of our 20th episode giveaway of eShop credit. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been having a contest where you can enter to win that. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here. And we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. So our winner goes to Niels Van Tool, I believe, on Twitter. And so congratulations, and we are definitely going to be contacting you on Twitter to figure out how to best get you that code. So congratulations. And I mean, for all of you who didn't win, entering contests is what's it like, Iwata?
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you very much, Iwata. I definitely agree. So awesome. Well, thank you. I love it. It just made my week. I'm not even kidding. It's just so great. It definitely feels like he got punked by somebody who was writing a script, he clearly had not seen Forrest Gump. It's just awesome. So, anyways, thank you everybody for listening to our extra super long episode of the Nintendo Dads podcast. Of course, if you want to follow us on the social media of all sorts, you can do that on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google+. You can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com. Twitch.tv/NintendoDads is where you can find us live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time-ish. Also, you can call in and leave us a voicemail. That's 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. And big thanks to OC Remix for the music throughout the show today, and as well to that awesome... the awesome Gangnam Style remix. We'll throw a link in the show notes for that as well. That for SoundCloud there. That was great. Big
thanks to Alex for joining us for Nintendo Life as well.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Of course. Alex, thank you. Thank you for spending the time there, and everybody give him some love on Twitter as well, and thank him. Check out Carter Johnson, who provides our awesome artwork. Go over to megacarter.tumblr.com and find her work there. And of course, if you want to help out the show, go over to iTunes and leave us a review. Subscribe over there. That's the best way that you can help us get into the ear holes of all of the other Nintendo dads out there in the world. And we'll definitely be, in the next couple of weeks, be going through some of those iTunes reviews and be sharing the love there. So head over there, and we'll definitely give you a shout out on the show. So any final words, gentlemen, as we head out of the longest episode in Nintendo Dad's history?
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone.
I think I'm ready to hibernate.
Absolutely. Right on. Well, we'll see you guys all next week. Have a good one. Holy mother. Another hour and a half after our like 2 hour. Dude, this is nuts.